Hey, it's Heidi Dawson, and this is Wednesday Wisdom, where I interview wildly successful people from across the world, where we get an inside view into what their daily life looks like. Success leaves clues, and on Wednesdays, we're finding them. Join me now for the latest wildly successful interview. Hi, guys. Welcome to the 43rd episode of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. And welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. Today, my guest is someone that has helped transform so many women's lives, including mine. She's a certified personal trainer and fitness nutrition specialist. Her passion for helping women reach their goals is so apparent, and she does it in such a loving, thoughtful way. She truly lives her passion. So let me introduce you to Jenn. Hi, Jenn.
Hi, Heidi. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just so excited to have you here because health and mindset go hand in hand. And I know that you have that exact same mindset. In fact, it's part of your mission statement, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. And I love the holistic approach that you take to health and fitness. It seemed like nutrition and health, when I worked with you, they just danced so seamlessly. And that's why when I was wanting to do something with nutrition, I thought of you first because
Thank you.
you work with both. And so many times I think someone is really, really good at fitness and someone is really, really good at nutrition. But with you, I just was like, oh my goodness, it's the whole package. So I'm excited, and thank you for taking time.
Thank you for having me on.
Good. Well, we talked about how it works. It's speed round. So we try to get as much information quickly so that everyone can get this on their drive to work or to the grocery store. So
yeah.
The first question is one that I love to ask everybody because I always want to know what successful people do in the morning. So do you have a set morning routine, and what is it?
I do, and it's not super glamorous, but I'm typically up for work at 5 a.m. And I actually recently just switched my routine. I used to get up, sit and have coffee, maybe listen to a meditation or look at some, affirmations. Not good at journaling, but that was kind of my routine. Try to avoid scrolling on social media, but I can't promise that always doesn't happen. Yeah. But recently, I'm still getting up at 5, and I felt like I'm doing better just getting right up. I have a big, 20-ounce glass of water, room temperature water with sea salt and lemon, and I take that with me in the bathroom. I get ready, I shower, get ready for the day. And then after that, I get ready for my clients for the morning, prepare their workouts, get the gym set up. And then I'll come in and get my water ready. I'll get my protein shake, which I have for breakfast, ready, get everything ready because I'll be training for hours straight, basically through lunchtime. So I don't get any breaks once I get started.
Wow.
And then once that's all done, if I have maybe 10 to 20 minutes left, I will either sit outside with a cup of decaf and just kind of chill and mentally prep for the day, kind of visualize my day in my head, or I'll go in the gym and do some stretching, mobility work and some breath work. And just, again, I need a little bit of time to myself to prepare for my day and my clients so I can be my best.
Yeah, that's so good. I find that it's routinely people that I've interviewed that are really successful and have that healthy glow. They seem to always drink water in the morning, and they always take time for themselves. It really does seem like that. Now, one quick question, and this is just a side note. Several people have said that they fast, they work out fasted or work out without eating. Just real quick, your thoughts on that? I know that wasn't...
No, that's great. I'm a huge advocate of fasting. I used to do intermittent fasting a lot myself. I did very well fasting on an empty stomach and working out. I use that strategy with a lot of my clients.
Okay.
I'm currently not doing it myself right now at the moment, but I do think it does work for people. It's just it's always that it depends. Everybody's different. Some people get a little nauseous on an empty stomach.
Yeah. See, for me, I wake up, have to eat breakfast, but I was like, okay, maybe I should be fasting until my workout, but I don't know. For me, I want to eat as soon as I get up. So that was just a question. So it really is dependent on.
It depends. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That helps me a lot because
Yes.
All right. So how many hours a night do you sleep? And do you think that's critical to your health?
So I'll answer the second part first. And
Okay.
yes, I think sleep is very critical to our health, to our longevity, um, in, how we age and how we feel, and disease prevention, and body composition. I mean, I can go on and on, and
Oh,
just our
wow.
mood,
Okay.
and, for anxiety, everything. Like if we don't sleep enough, like it is crucial to our health, maybe not in the short term, but in the long term, yes.
Right.
How many hours I sleep a night? Unfortunately, I've always had trouble sleeping. So it's kind
Okay.
of funny. Like people kind of like look at me like, really? You do all the things, right? And you still have trouble sleeping. So I've battled insomnia on and off since I was a child, and I've had many years of great sleep. But I would say for me right now, I'm between 4 and 6. That is not ideal, but
Okay.
I've definitely I do the best that I can in trying to manage that, in staying hydrated and doing all the nighttime routine, and just doing whatever I can to help ensure that I get the best sleep, even though it is not the best sleep, if
It's
that
not
makes sense.
ideal for
So
you.
I'm working with a functional medicine doctor, like where I'm definitely on top of it and take it very seriously. But I know for me personally, I'm never going to be, I don't need to sleep 8 or 10 hours. I'm not that
Okay.
person. I can function well on 6, but I would like to get 6 to 8 probably more consistently than I do.
Interesting. I
Yeah,
am pretty much an 8-hour girl. I really kind of need 8 hours.
I'm
If I
jealous.
get six, yeah, if I get six, I sort of have to make up for it. But it's interesting because I have found people that are like, no, a six, I'm good. In fact, I don't even know that I need six. So I guess that is another thing that varies. But I have found that a lot of people are liking the 8 hours. So
Hmm.
okay, good. All right. So, in your mission statement, you say that you believe that fitness and nutrition coaching is a total mind and body experience. Now, I feel that that is one reason why you're so successful at what you do. Can you expand on that, like what that means for you and your clients?
Well, I can think back to when I first started my business over 13 years ago, that I knew that when working with clients that I wanted to be more than just the trainer that went into the gym and kicked their ass. I hope I can say that on the
Yeah,
podcast.
totally
And
fine.
okay. And kick someone's
Kids,
ass, send
close
them
your ears.
home. I could say worse than that.
Okay, yeah.
Um, and then just, give them a hard workout and then send them home and tell them what to eat. I always knew that there was, especially with women, I used to work with men too, but I'd say since 2015, I've exclusively worked with women because I felt like that's just something I really wanted to dive into and I had a really strong connection with.
Yeah.
Um,
Your sweet
that,
spot.
yes, exactly. I'm so passionate about it. There's so much that affects women, especially all the things outside of their life that affects the way that they eat and exercise, or the
Right.
way that they don't eat and exercise. And I felt like that all really needed to be addressed to help optimize the workout and the nutrition piece of it.
Yeah.
So it has to be a total experience. And really, I get very personal and very deep with my clients. I want to know about their lifestyle, their relationships, their stress levels, their hormones, their everything, what's
Right.
going on in their
So
personal
good.
life, everything. So
That's
I can,
so good. And I worked with you, and if we were closer, I would work with you.
I know, I wish you were.
I know. But you know, I noticed when we were working together, and I'm surprised. I want to work with you again, like online. And I know we're gonna have to talk about that later.
Okay.
Anyway, so I felt like I was getting a whole mindset body experience with you, and it worked because I have kept off that weight, and I know kind of where to go to if I need to do that. So
Hmm.
all right, so very good. I like that a lot. Now the statement that you can't out train a bad diet, right? So I believe that. It resonates with me, and I have found it to be so true, especially the older I get.
Hmm.
Like every 5 years or so, I feel like I have to adjust my diet. You seem to have nutrition down to a complete science, and that science is pretty clear. But could you speak to the idea of macronutrients and how you arrange nutrition plans for your clients? Because I know that is one of your big things you do.
Okay. Yeah. So I use a lot of different strategies with clients. Macronutrients is a big one. I've actually, in the most recent couple years, I've kind of gotten away from that. So I'd say more loosely macro tracking, but I will say that is important. I feel like for every client to have some understanding of what they're taking in, what they're eating, and what their food consists of, and the quality of their food.
So a
You know,
quick
how much.
breakdown of a macro, like, can you explain that?
Yeah,
Because
so a
you're
macronutrient is based, so, we have calories, right? And calories are made up of, fats, carbs, or proteins. And so that's how I have my clients, not all of my clients, but many of them start to look at the composition of their food and what they're taking in, looking at food labels and tracking how much protein they're taking in and how many carbohydrates they're taking in. So that's macronutrient tracking. I mean, you can
okay, good.
take it in a
That's
very
easy.
simple, like eyeball portion control approach, or you could track on an app like MyFitnessPal. Like, you can get really in depth with it. It is a little bit more an advanced, I think, strategy for people. So I use it to very client dependent, but I do think it is helpful to know, to have that
Okay.
foundation, because once you have it forever.
Right, right. Okay, so did I kind of got you off track there because
Okay.
we were talking about how you arrange nutrition plans for your clients, but and I was wanting to kind of go on the macro because I have a couple people that have, when I've talked to them about that my interview with you, I said, yeah, she worked with me for macro. They're like, what is that? Like, it's so confusing. But the way you broke it down makes it seem not so confusing. It's basically how many fats, how many carbs, and how many proteins you're eating.
Right, that you need for your goals, your body type, how much you're training, all that. So I take a very deep dive into my clients' past dieting history, their food
Love that.
preferences, um, things that work well for them, what didn't work well for them, their lifestyle, their food preferences, and design a plan around that. Though I definitely do take more of an I know intuitive eating is kind of a buzzword right now.
Yeah, it
I
is.
definitely lean more towards an intuitive approach with kind of macros built into that
Okay.
is what I'm leaning towards right now with clients.
That's so good.
Hmm.
I know we're going to get everybody in touch with you, however, what they can get in touch with you, because I can tell that it's so important for all of this to be part of a plan. And if you track your eating and you plan your eating, it's 80%, would you say 80%?
Of your
I hate,
results? Yes.
yeah, I
Like,
hate that. Like, I wish it was 80% working out,
I
20%.
know. That's because we love to work out.
I know. I love working out, and I'm just like, I work out so hard, I should eat what I want. But that isn't the case. So we're going to just, I'm going to stop even talking about that because it's just,
Yes, it is. It
yeah.
is nutrition for sure, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, that's a very good point to make. It's mostly nutrition because a lot of people don't want to hear that. So, including me. All right. So you're a big food journal advocate. Now, you turned me into a believer on that. So, I mean, I didn't want to do it. And you were like, I really can't help you if you ask
Right.
what you eat. So many just don't want to do it. Any ideas or tips on making that work for people because it's so effective?
Yeah, it's such a huge mindfulness tool. And I think people avoid it because it brings a lot of attention to their
Oh my
eating
gosh,
habits.
so true. They don't want
So,
to be aware of it. You're right. That's why we're so against it. Like, I don't want to know that
right.
block of chocolate that I just ate or the 3 squares of cheese was like a third of my fat and an eighth of my calories for the day or something. You don't.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be honest with yourself at that point. I think
Okay.
people, I think a lot of people they want to do it, they want the results, but then they're sometimes not willing to look deeper into that. But
So true.
back to the food journaling. Yes, I think it is important. Again, I do ask clients, especially when I first start working with them, to eat, and I want to keep it super simple. I don't want anything to stress out my clients. And most of my clients are busy working women,
Yes.
or just busy women in general, and they don't need another thing on their plate. So I want to make it as simple as possible. So it could be writing it on a piece of paper, putting it in their phone notes, tracking on MyFitnessPal, at least give me an eyeball view of kind of how they're eating. Then I can create their plan. And really, again, it's very personality dependent on whether I ask them to continue to track or not. And I never ever want any of my clients, they never do it long term. It's very short term, and
Yeah.
they really don't need to do it long term.
No, you don't. Once, and I've, it's been so many years since we've worked together that I just feel like I need to get back into it with you and just sort of, but after a few, I don't remember if it was a couple months or maybe even a month. It was like I knew what I needed to eat, and I knew how much I needed to not eat at dinner because of what I ate at lunch. So
Right.
you kind of get that. So that is why food journaling is so good. So okay, wonderful. All right. So now I love the success stories that you have on your website. And I see that
Thank you.
like you will post things where I'm like, oh, that's so inspiring. Is there a common trait or mindset of the women that succeed and kind of stick with your plan as opposed to those that just don't kind of succeed?
There is.
Okay. I'm so glad I asked that question.
So it's a good question.
Let's hear it.
Thanks for asking that one. I think they have to, first of all, have an open mind. Anyone that comes to me with, well, is this going to work? Well, that won't work. If they come to me with a negative mindset, I really tell them that we can't work together because it's not going to work.
Yeah.
They're open to coaching. So I say that they're coachable. They trust me. So they're open and willing to have, be honest with me, have a relationship with me, share with me, and I'm very open and honest with them, and they're open to my advice and suggestions. It's never my way or the highway. I want my clients to have feedback, and I want their input based on what I'm sharing with them to help them. So that's where the relationship part comes in. So they have to be coachable, they have to be open-minded, they have to trust me.
Right.
And I think they just have to have an open mind to trying new things. Every single one of them has done the dieting, the all or nothing diet, and they've done, the Atkins, the keto, the whatever, and they're tired of doing.
That's kind of hard on your body, isn't it? All of
It
that.
is.
Yeah.
Dieting. Yes, it does. It could, affect your metabolism over time. So
Okay.
you have
So
to be open-minded.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so true. I mean, because it's not the one thing with food journaling and getting in there and really being honest with you too, because you can't like, if I'm eating the chocolate bar and not putting it down and you're like, man, this should be working. It's not though. And so they have to be able to trust you, but you also have to be able to trust them.
Right.
So, okay, good. I love that. And so good. Open-minded. All right. So do you have a favorite health or fitness or nutrition book that you would recommend like all of us to read?
Yes. And well, I have two, but
Okay. All right.
neither one of them,
We would love to hear both.
are health and fitness related, but
Okay.
they relate so much to health and fitness. The first one is The Confidence Code. I cannot remember the name of the author. It's an amazing book for women who struggle with confidence, and it talks about why women hold themselves back from doing the things that they want to do and having a voice and being proud of their accomplishments. Why do we try to hold back? So that is huge. I recommend that to all clients.
Okay.
And Atomic Habits was my favorite book of 2019. James Clear. Did you read that one, Heidi?
I haven't. And you know
would
what?
love that.
You're the third person. So I always have this rule that if I hear it 3 times, it's meant for me to get on it like right now. So that book I will order that as soon as we finish this interview. So Atomic Habits by James Clear.
It's so good. And it really, anything fitness. And if you're going to work out, if you're going to try to lose weight, gain muscle, change your body, change your health, change your life, like you have to take action. You have to do these really small, boring habits. I'm being totally transparent here. Small, boring habits every single day. It's not glamorous and it's not sexy.
Nope.
And right in the beginning of the book,
result is
exactly. It's not glamorous, but it's you put in the work and you get the results. But he talks about in the very beginning, he says, most people quit right before they're going to get results. Because they're doing all the things and they don't see it and they want it so fast, but it takes a long time to get there. Yeah. And that, that's something I've always, talk about, and that just really resonated with me. So it's an awesome book.
Wow. Okay. So you absolutely did not disappoint on this because that is all about mindset. It's not about going and eating vegetarian or eating, how to eat, or how to food journal. It's your mindset. And that is what I love about you. Okay. All right, good. So then now number 9, the question that I'm going to ask you here is, how about a favorite podcast? And a lot of people are always like, of course, the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. So you don't have to say that other than mine. Do you have a favorite podcast, or do you listen to, is that something that you do?
I do. I have a lot, probably too many.
Yeah.
So,
Join the club. Me too.
too many. So one of my favorites is Pain Free and Strong Radio.
Okay.
Dr. Tina Moore is the host, and she's a naturopathic doctor, and she's a big fan of strength training for women and natural health, and she tells it like it is, and I love her.
Okay, so give me the name of that again.
Pain Free and Strong Radio.
Pain Free and Strong Radio. That's definitely one I'm going to put on my list, and I will put all this in the show notes so everybody will be able to get this.
Okay.
Okay, finally, if you could give one piece of advice for training, okay, and one piece of advice for nutrition, just one, that's all you could give someone, and what would that be? Like, what do you have? Could you do that? Of course you can.
Of course I can. And I know, and it's the same answer for both. Stop trying to be so perfect.
Okay. All right. Dadgummit. You know what?
Stop trying to be so perfect.
All right. I'm writing that down because it's very true. And I'm at fault. I do that. I'm like, oh, well, my body fat isn't exactly this, or my diet was kind of off today, so you stop trying to be so perfect and you just let go. Most of the time, things just always sort of pan out.
It falls into place. It really does.
I did not. There's something that you do that I forgot to really mention about this is you have a tendency, and I don't know if you're still doing this or not, but you don't have to make your clients do a lot of cardio. You're a big strength training without cardio. I mean, if you want to do cardio, fine, but you don't think you have to. And I think a lot of the listeners will be excited about that. I personally love cardio, so it's not something, but tell me quickly about that, because I know that I'm keeping you longer than I should.
No, you're fine. We're good. I don't think cardio is bad at all. I think cardio is very important to our health. And I think everybody needs a different dose. And some people use it for a little stress relief. If you're in a fat loss phase and need to do some cardio, great. But to use it as it's the only way to get in shape, I don't think that is the optimal way. I find when I see women strength train, first of all, they're so surprised at how strong they are and how capable they are. They become so much more confident. Yeah. I mean, I see a change in their demeanor. They see changes in their body, especially women that I've worked with in the last couple of years that are very new to strength training. Within 6 months to a year, they're just really amazed at how much their body's changed with very little cardio, because that's what they've been told all these years. Yeah, is to run a lot. Right. And so they like it. I mean, it's less jarring on their body. They feel stronger. They see the muscle definition that they want to see. Yeah. And they feel stronger and confident.
Longer. And it lasts longer. Yes. Like you're building, because muscle, as we get older, it's so important.
Oh my God.
I know.
It is so important. If, people talk about boosting their metabolism. If you want to boost your metabolism, you have to lift weights on a regular basis.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear, because I know that. And since the gyms have been closed, I've been running a lot. And so I love to push weight. And I don't know if you remember that, but I really love to push weight. So anyway, all right, good. This has been phenomenal. I think so much of this is what everybody wants to, maybe they don't want to hear that, but it's what they need to hear, including yourself. So how would somebody be able to work with you? I know that you do personal training, but you also do online training and nutritional training online, which is sort of, I did that with you, which was very effective, and people will be shocked at how much they can accomplish with you online. So how do they get up with you, and how do they work with you?
So I live in Lakeland, Tennessee, and I work with one-on-one private coaching clients in my home gym. And the rest of the time I do online coaching, which means I can work with anyone, anywhere in the world. I do fitness and nutrition coaching, And I specialize in women who are looking to transform their mind, their body, and their food journey,
I
basically.
think every woman,
Yes.
maybe not, but I think
But
most,
yeah, like
yeah,
most of my online clients, they're busy working women. They have children, they have families, and they want that. They want to work with a coach, but they can't get to a gym. It's more time efficient. They get the whole, they get their
yeah,
whole
I love
plan.
it. And I
Yeah,
love
I mean,
it.
because you got to do both.
I did do both, and again, I would be working with you if you would make the drive out to Germantown. But I could make the drive out there too easily. But anyway, but then not easily.
Yeah,
It's an hour either way, and that's a big commitment. And we just
yeah, no, I get.
neither one
That's
of us
why
have that
I wanted to do online coaching, because I can help so many more women, and I could
time.
work
Yes,
with people anywhere who can't get to the gym, who can't get to me, and they have their whole nutrition program, their whole training program maps out to me. We do coaching calls, we text weekly or
yes.
multiple times a week. Like, I am in constant contact with my clients, and they get great success because they know they have that support and that accountability from me, but they
I'm a
do it
per.
on their own time.
I can attest to that. So, I mean, I am a walking, advertisement for you on that because I know it works with you. So, all right, that is all wonderful. And I think that we have gotten the questions. You've given beautiful answers that exactly what I knew you would do. And I am so excited that you came and joined us today. And this was kind of my first
Me
nutrition
too.
interview. So, thank you
I'm
so
so excited.
much.
Thank you so much for having me, Heidi.
Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together. And I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.